Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Oh, that ring doorbell. Okay. Good morning, everyone. Starting out a little late this morning due to those boobalubas, the dogs. As soon as I walk out here, you know what happened. uh, well, hopefully they will get with it now that I'm out here. Well, hi, Daryl. How are you? Just trying to get the dogs, aka Boobalubas, to behave. I could not get one of the windows up. It is jammed for some reason. Just you today? No, I just clicked on. Just clicked it on. And you were lucky enough to get me first. Lucky you. Oh my goodness. I gotta get my microphone out. Probably can't hear me very well. Hubs isn't even here yet. All right. Get this all set up now. Now they're being quiet. This microphone set up. I can run the thing it goes in. There we go. All right. Can you hear me now, Daryl? Is that a better? Is that a thumbs up? Good to go? What? Can you hear me, Daryl? Anyone out there in YouTube land, can you hear me? I just put the microphone in. Things are all not on system in my structured morning. The babies are in rare form again. Must be a full moon coming sometime soon. Can you hear me? Hi, Kelly girl. How you doing? Can you hear me okay? I just hooked up the microphones. I had to go back in the house and get those dogs to behave. They just all right, love. Thank you so much, Kelly. I appreciate you. I don't know where Daryl is, but he must not be at work yet. So speaking of Daryl, he's wanting to get his YouTube channel. He's had it for a while, but I think the only thing he put on there is let's see, his odometer clicking over on his old car to I think 100,000 or whatever it was. I guess that's a guy thing, and he has I forget what else he has on there, but he's yesterday we made that cake I make with can of pop. We made a spice cake with some ginger ale and cream cheese frosting, and I was telling Paula, oh, just looking at that cake, because I lost 5 pounds, and I was like, oh, just looking at that cake, I'm going to gain it back. So please take that to work with you today. And I come upstairs, and there it was, still sitting on there. So cover it with foil and out of sight, out of mind, right? So he's going to put that video on his channel, hopefully to, get some subscribers. I think he has 7 subscribers, and he wants to do videos on his own. So I can understand that. Because when we do cooking things, I usually let him do all of it because he likes to take over the kitchen. And that's fine with me. Big D's Place. There, that's his channel. Big D's Place. If you want to subscribe to that. That's Mr. Sally, or AKA my hubs. If you want to subscribe to his channel, he's going to get working on it. Big D's place right there, Cal. I don't know if you can click on him and see it. He's trying to get it going. He's really talented in art. Oh, Kelly, if I needed anything from my classroom, I can just say what it is, and he can go in my mind, and he can make it. He made me Clifford. He made me Franklin, and they look exactly. And I'm not biased. Well, I am biased, but it looks exactly like the book. He worked for Scholastic, Kelly, and he painted the murals on their walls of Magic School Bus, and he does it all freehand. He doesn't use anything to trace or anything, you know. He does everything freehand, and he's a magnificent artist. Very, very talented. And my older son's the same way. He's very talented as far as drawing. And Matthew, he's like me, really good at writing and things like that. But yeah, he's gonna get it started. He'll do well if he just, is able to put some time into it and just put the camera on whenever he's doing something. You just gotta, oh, I could make a video of this. So I'll say, when you're building, why don't you um, put the camera on and show how you're building. He's closing in our back porch. That's another thing he's able to do. He's a very good handyman and builder. Good morning, Rhonda. You're up early, honey. What is it, like 5:30 there? And Daryl says, good morning. I was just telling them, Rhonda, that my husband, it says Big D's Place, he's trying to start his own channel. He only has like 2 things on there, silly things, but it's from a long time ago. But yesterday we made the spice cake with a can of pop, and I want him to put that on his channel with cream cheese frosting. I was kind of hoping he would take that to work with them, but well, I'm going to have to stare at that today, so we'll just keep the foil on it and put it somewhere else. Out of sight, out of mind, right? Out of sight, out of mind. Hey, Daryl. Daryl, Big D, looking for Daryl. Because we have Big D and we have Little D. But Little D, my son, he's not quite little anymore. He's going to be 38 years old in October. But they used to call him Baby D. Now he's Little D. And we have Big D. So everybody's saying good morning to one another. How wonderful. What's that face about, Daryl? Daryl with one R, because Big D, Daryl. Well, at least you're using Big D now, Daryl, and then I won't have to go back and forth saying one R, 2 R's. Thanks for the clarification. You're welcome, Lona. No problem at all. I know sometimes I go into my kindergarten teacher mode where I explain things too extravagantly. Tracy from Life on the Wild Side is going to be so proud of me. I actually tried laying down in the bed and put my CPAP on and tried to get some sleep. So I got, I think, 3.5 hours sleep. Who is Big D? Well, that is Daryl DIY. He changed his channel name. That's my husband. Each Day TV. Daryl changed his channel and he's trying to get some subscribers. He's trying to get to 50 so he can um, do his own videos. But he better not stop helping me. Yeah, right, right. Can't remove the kindergarten teacher from me. But so how you doing, Dean? You're out there on the road, have me in the background. Lovely. Good friend. So yeah, we made the cake with the can of pop. We made a spice cake with the ginger ale, cream cheese frosting. Oh my goodness. And then Daryl was cutting like a piece, to show that we're um, trying it out. He cut this huge, humongous piece. I said, "Woo, that's a big piece." He's like, "Nah." If I ate that, my diabetes would just be like, "Woo." Because my diabetes, I don't have to take insulin or anything. It's just strictly by my diet right now. As long as I do that and take off the weight, then I won't have to do the insulin. So, but it's too hard to lose 5 pounds to start out, and then just to eat a piece of cake and probably gain it all back. So I'm getting on the ball here because a lot of my health issues are going out of control, and I gotta be there to drive Daryl crazy some more years. Right, Daryl? Big D? Right, Big D? I always call him D or Hun, and whenever I call him Daryl, it's foreign to him, just like, when he calls me Sally, I'm like, "Who?" Because he always calls me, he calls me Hun or, baby or whatever. Yeah, that's his nickname all these years. His name was always Big D, Dean, because we have a son named Daryl, and first he was Baby D, now he's Little D. Oh, let's see. Let's see. Kelly says, "You have more willpower than me. I would not have been able to make the cake and not eat it." Well, he cut me a little piece, and on camera, I did take a bite of it. But there was just too much icing. It was that cream cheese icing. It was very rich. But Mrs. Sally Hay, he changed his channel just like you. He changed his channel name, and he's going to try it out for himself to see what he can do. But like I said, he's very talented. Um, he's very, very, very gifted. God gifted him so with art. He's just phenomenal. He used to come in my kindergarten class, and those kids could draw exactly like him. And when they would take their paper home, their parents were like, "No, you didn't draw that." And they wouldn't believe it. They come back and ask me. I'm like, "Yeah, my husband came and showed them step by step how to do it." So maybe he should have been an art teacher, you know? Um, I don't know. But when we first got married at age 20, we didn't know about, school loans. Well, we knew about school loans, but we didn't know about grants and things like that because he was going to go to the Art Institute of Pittsburgh, and we went down there and everything. But I don't know. Here they go. My alarm system's going off, and I have their little beeper thing, and they're not listening to the beeper. I guess it's not working. I just bought these little clickers that are supposed to beep and they get their attention to tell them don't bark, but apparently Levi doesn't care. There, I was trying to change close these windows in the living room, and the first one is jammed. The one, I think you were fixing the screen for it, so I'll have to look at that whenever I go back in. It is, and Rhonda, he can build stuff too. He made me this game that I want to use on my uh, channel and a bunch of other things. If I say, he made our one in our old house. I had a closet door for coats, and we never used it, so he made it into a pantry. And there wasn't any room for like the little stuff would always get lost in the back of the shelves. So I said, "I wonder, can you make this door into the door that pulled out, like for all my spices and stuff?" Next thing you know, I have a door with little things, little shelves on it, and he's just very talented. And his best friend's wife she's like, "You're so lucky," she would be getting on Daryl's best friend Ron all the time. He's like, "Look what Daryl does for Sally." Look, Her house does need some work, but she was even asking Daryl, can you put a new floor in? Because he put a new floor in our house too, and even though he has his two artificial hips, they do not hold him back. Mm-mm. He was out there moving those rocks that those kids took my money and ran. He moved all those rocks. And river rock, which is real heavy, but I had to keep going out there. I said, Daryl, you can do the rest next day. Do some every day. You don't have to, you know, just like I hired a kid to cut my grass because it's a big hillside here. And Daryl will do the whole freaking lawn. And I said, Daryl, just do a little bit at a time. He's going to be 61 years old with, artificial parts. So, because when my doctor told me about my hip, there's a certain way you have to get up, a certain way, you could pop that thing out. Doesn't stop, Daryl. Nope. Your husband's handy too, Rhonda. It's nice because you don't. Oh, that's good, Kelly. Because I'll tell you what, there's something going. I think it's the what's that thing that in your drain in the kitchen? Not a food processor, the food where you put all the scraps and stuff down and you grind it in your sink. I do not like that thing because it's clogging up the plumbing system. So, and then it's coming up in my shower, and I don't like that. So, garbage disposal. Thank you. Thank you. Garbage disposal. I don't like that. He wanted a house that had that, and I was like, no, I don't think it's right that, water goes down the drain, not pieces of food. Put it in the garbage. So, but we had another backup from the street, um, and it came into our house. And then I asked my neighbors, "Do they have any trouble with your sewage?" No, no, no. Next thing you know, a couple of them had plumbers at their house. So there was something going on there. Anyway, all right, guys, I'm gonna get started. Thanks for hitting the like button. I appreciate you guys because those are my hugs for the day until Daryl gets home. All right, let's see what God wanted me to do. I see his book here. Okay. It says, I gotta move the camera. I don't know what's with um these sunrises lately. They're not oh, they can still see it behind me. I get to see me now. Lucky, 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 lucky. I have my other glasses on today, which really need adjusted. Am I crooked? It's not on the thing very well. Wow, you're gonna have to watch me like that. Okay. Help me to live in the present, giving my entire attention to what you are doing right now. I don't want to get worked up about what may or may not happen tomorrow. Yet I confess that entrusting my tomorrow to you goes against the grain of my human nature. That's true for me. Against my strong desire to feel in control. The truth is, I waste a lot of time thinking about the future. And that is very true for me. What if, what's going to happen? I found that trying not to think about something is usually ineffective and counterproductive. My effort to stop thinking about the matter keeps me chained to those thoughts. However, I can break free by focusing my attention on you and on what you're doing in my life. Boy, those are words for me to live by. You are my living Lord, and you are always doing new things. The main thing that keeps me chained to future thoughts is my fear of what tomorrow may bring, wondering whether or not I'll be able to cope with it. But your word reassures me. You will help me deal with whatever hard things come up when the time comes. I have to read that again because I need to get this in my head. But your word reassures me you will help me deal with whatever hard things come up when the time comes. Oh, yeah. See, that's the thing. Some of us have ingrained in us that we have to be in control. We have to make sure that this happens or that happens, make sure everything's okay with everybody. And, you know, I can try to guide people like my sons and things when they were growing up, but I always worry and I'm always trying to be in control. And um, it gets me in trouble because I have to have my faith in God, right? Sal, come on, Sal, get with it. Give my entire attention to what God is doing right now. And don't get worked up about what may or may not happen tomorrow. God will help you deal with whatever hard things come up when the time comes. And that's from Matthew chapter 6, 34. And that's labeled the message. So I know my friend Dean, he lives day by day, you know, and it's his story to tell, but I really admire the things that he has accomplished in his life. So, Dean, if you're still watching, I really admire you for all the strength that you've had, and as Kelly says, willpower that you've done and endured in your life. I really admire that. Um, it's just the control thing. And I don't really have control because God is almighty. He's the all power. He's the ending answer. Like he gives the it's his way or no way, right? Um, Let us fix our eyes on Jesus, the author and perfecter of our faith, who for the joy set before him endured the cross, scorning its shame, and sat down at the right hand of the throne of God. And that's from Hebrews 12:2. See, the former things have taken place, and new things I declare. Before they spring into being, I announce them to you. And that's from Isaiah 42, verse 9. But this other, from Matthew, the one they have here labeled the message, give our attention to God, what's right now. And I think about this too whenever I was reading that. I was thinking, a lot of us, um, myself included, but more so my best friend Danny. He like when I turn 70, okay? When I turn 70, but you haven't turned, he just turned 60. I'm like, Danny, we just turned 60. But when I turn 70, what's gonna be this, and this? I said, but we have to enjoy the years between 60 and 70, Danny. We let's enjoy the journey. A lot of us aren't enjoying the journey. We have to take each day. I mean, it's a gift from God. It really is a gift from God, and that's like a lot of people say, that's why it's called the present, It's the present. It's what God gave us today to hi, good morning, Wakeshoe. But that's why God gave us today. It's a present from him. If the sunrise isn't magnificent, like we judge it as magnificent, but God made that, and I have to take it for what it is. And the day yesterday turned into a beautiful day, and but we have to live in the present. We have to stop. And I'm not preaching just to you. I'm talking to myself here. Okay, I have to learn to live in the present. I have to start saying, okay, this is a day. What am I going to do with this day? Like I always say to you guys, what am I going to do with this day? All right, let's see. um, but I'm always worried about tomorrow. And I think a lot of it has to do with my health too. And I need to start getting on that because things are going downhill here. And I need to wake up and smell the coffee because it's not going to get any better the road I'm taking. The the way I eat and things like that. And I'm really trying to do that. And my adopted son on here, Ace, he's telling me, Sal, you need to get the water. And I know that. I know that water is going to help me. It's going to, clean your system and flush you. I know what I have to do, but why don't I do that? Like why don't I do that? Why am I my own worst saboteur? I don't need any of you or anybody else to mess up my day. I do it to myself. Why do I do that? And it's just crazy. Why, um, they say that, you should first love yourself and then you can love others. And I'm a giver and not, I'm not playing a martyr here or anything, but I'm a giver. I'm not a taker. And I got to learn to start doing things for myself because being a Catholic, growing up as a Catholic, you have Catholic guilt. You're supposed to do for others. Don't be selfish, right? And it was frowned upon, to be, oh, I got to take care of myself first. Well, nowadays, it is really seen to do that because when I took care of mommy, and I do not, my mom was sick with terminal cancer. I do not regret that. That is something that, you know, was so precious to me to spend this last year with her. But I lost my identity because everything was about her. And I should have, um, I did still go to the gym because I needed that outlet, but I should have still like, get a massage once a month or something, or, get my nails done. But all of that, I just threw it all away. Things that I did when I was a teacher. Granted that whenever I was taking care of my mom, I didn't have an income because I was taking care of her. Where nowadays I found that if you're the main caregiver, you can be paid for that. So then you don't have to have the nurses come in. Did you know that? I didn't know that. It's over with, so don't dwell on it, Sal. But it's no, I don't regret that at all. But I regret the fact that I don't take care of myself, and sometimes it really shows because I'm just so exhausted because I just got to get things done, got to get things done. And that's what I'm working on. Like last night, I slowed my brain down and I try not to watch YouTube before bed, but I did because I watched Evie's live and then I watched Paula's live and then I think about the things that they said and things that people are going on in their lives and stuff. In their real life. And I love that kind of channel that it's about their life. I like to learn things too on YouTube, but that is a good reading for me where I am now. So much going on in my life right now. I remember to feed my faith with promises of God. Matthew 6 is all about worry of the future. Yes, yes, that's from Rhonda. And you're doing your new, I don't know if you finished your series. Rhonda's channel is awesome, guys. Entreaty by Rhonda Hens. I'm her biggest fan, and she gets tired of me telling her, but I'm sorry. I just adore you. But she's doing a series on fear, right, Rhonda? The first one, I don't know if that was the first one, but that's the one I shared with a bunch of people, is the fear of the unknown. How about that? That is a good topic, Rhonda, and I love that one. And she has another one about don't let the old lady in, and that was a really good topic too. About getting older and stuff. You're gonna let the old lady in, but guys, check out her channel. You have another one coming out soon. But oh, Rhonda is really good. And another one that's really good is Big D's Place. He's just starting out his channel. And he's looking for subscribers. No, that's my husband. He is trying to start on his channel. Fear of Judgment. Is that the new one? Oh, you know what? I used to be, Daryl can attest to this. I still do it, but I never go, rarely do I go outside. Oh, the bus didn't beep its horn today. I rarely go out, somewhere without at least having appropriate clothes on. I don't go out in my jammies to Walmart. Um, I try to have my hair kept, not always makeup, but I don't like to go out like looking like death, an old cootie. But I tried in home when I start my day, I get my shower, I do my hair, sometimes makeup, sometimes not. But I get dressed, not in my jammies all day. I get dressed from top to bottom, including shoes, um, to do stuff around here because it makes me feel like I have some, I don't wanna say worth, but it makes me feel like I'm going to a job. Like when you have a day off, you kinda just lounge around and stuff like that, but if I get my shower, you know, get ready for the day, all the way to my shoes, um, it makes the day go different. Does that make sense? Because if I, if I just I'll just be like, and another thing I have to do in the morning, because after this, I usually go on and catch up with what happened overnight on YouTube. I listen to Dean, I listen to DJ, um, his channel, they're Door Dashers, and I listen to them talk in the background. And sometimes I listen to both of them, and I can actually keep in touch with both of their conversations. It's, a multitasker here. I mean, I did teach kindergarten, but I get so addicted to my people. I call them my people. You guys are my people, and I just want to support you. And but then it's like my house is falling apart because I have so much stuff to do. I like to decorate my. I like to decorate for all seasons, not just fall. Paula thinks I just love fall. That's why I'm decorating. But no, I like to decorate for all seasons because I don't have a classroom to decorate anymore. I I miss that, decorating for the kids and stuff like that, and I don't know what I'm gonna do about the little elf. I used to put him in different, places, and he would mess up the classroom, and he'd be hanging from the ceiling fan, and the kids are like, "Oh, Mrs. Davis, look what that elf did," the, elf on the shelf. Um, yes, I decorate especially for St. Patrick's Day, Daryl. St. Patrick's Day is my all-time favorite. I don't know why. I guess it's because you don't really have to buy gifts for St. Patrick's Day. It's just a fun holiday. Like, um, let's see, like Valentine's Day. You gotta buy a gift. Everything is turned into commercialism. But St. Patrick's Day, it's just like, go drink a green beer, be merry, be happy, you know? And it's not all about drinking, it's just a happy holiday. And I love St. Patrick's Day. And every year I look forward to it. I love it more than any other holiday because, like I told you guys yesterday, once I'm trying to keep my spirits up by decorating for the fall, and then when you decorate for the fall, you have September, October, and November to keep those decorations up, right? So you don't have to take them down and redecorate. But coming with November comes up, and then Christmas. Excuse me. um, every year I try not to get down and stuff. I try, okay, we're gonna have a great Christmas, because um, Daryl and I, we really don't like exchange gifts. We haven't fallen um into the commercialism of buying gifts and that. We don't. And I don't be offended, when he doesn't get me a gift and I don't get him a gift. Every once in a while we'll do a little thing. But we since the kids are gone, we just don't really get into that buying gifts and getting yourself in debt and things like that. Hi, Lowell. Oh, 007. Uh, oops, sorry, I bumped the camera. But we don't ever do that. And I try to remember, and this is what I did with my kids as well. We always have a birthday cake for Jesus on Christmas because it's his birthday, and that's what we do. And we sing happy birthday to Jesus. And in fact, I do that with my mother-in-law. We have that birthday cake. We have a birthday party for him. And when my kids were little, I always said, when it's your birthday, you get the gifts, and Daryl doesn't get the gifts. Matthew gets the gifts, right? So why does everybody get gifts on Jesus's birthday? Where did that all come from? So we should be doing acts of kindness and doing things to show God praise in, Jesus's birthday. But that's just my philosophy, and there's too much commercialism and things like that. So, I'm not gonna me preaching to you about that. It's not gonna change anybody. So, but that's just what we do, and I like it. you know? And if I need anything during the year, Daryl, gets me things and stuff like that. But my biggest thing, if someone was giving me a gift, I like things um, that are made. Like Matthew, I told you he's very talented in writing. He used to write me poems, about me and him and our family and things like that. And little Daryl would always make us some kind of art. He made us one time. He made um, a sketch of Daryl and I as old time people, like dressed in a big gown, and Daryl had like like the soldiers, like with the hat they used to wear back in the I don't know 1800s and things like that. Do I have any animals? Yes, I have 3 basset hounds and 3 cats. You can check my channel. There's plenty of videos of them. And right now they're being very well behaved. Um, we'll see how long that lasts. But Levi's been out of sorts lately, and I try to give him extra attention, but I don't know. I don't know. Um, but yeah, I love things that are made for me. And check out my cat video. I have a cat named Mister. He's the love of my life, and I was never a cat person. I was always a dog person. Um, so the kids, I don't expect them to buy me things. I just love when the one year Daryl and Matthew, my husband Daryl and Matthew, got together. And I don't know if you ever see my video about buttons from heaven. My mom, before she died, I asked her, to send me buttons when she was thinking about me. And then I find buttons randomly. So all the buttons that I found, my husband and my son glued them to a frame with pictures of my mom and I. And it was I'm getting like a little emotional. It was the best Christmas gift I ever received. Because there was feeling behind that. Sorry. Damn, why did I tell that story? Anyway, um, but it was the best gift. I mean, to glue some buttons on a frame and stick some pictures in there. I mean, didn't hardly cost them anything, but it meant the world to me. And damn, guard it. I'm sorry. Oh, that's hard on my sleeve. I'm sorry. Good. There's only 8 people watching this, but I guess other people will be. But sentimental gifts like that, just like my students, things like that. I had a student who gave me um this is angels from my mom and Mary. Someone said I love your necklace. But a student gave me a clock for the mantle, and he wrote in the card, this is a 5-year-old. I don't make this stuff up. And his mom told me, she was a teacher. She's one of my co-teachers, but she taught 3rd grade. She said that he wanted to write when he bought the clock. Uh, this is for Mrs. D. This is for our time together. Our time together. What 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 a gift from a little kid. And I still have that clock. I don't think it works anymore. I should try to find someone to fix it. But that was a heartfelt gift. And just stuff like that. It just really touches my heart. I don't, you know, sure it's nice to get a Starbucks gift card or something like that, but those things that they make um are just something else. And I wear my heart on my sleeve, guys. I'm sorry. If you watch my channel, you're gonna see bawling because things that really touch me. I try so hard to hold my emotions back, and I see people, that like Dee when she was talking about her dad. Dee and Dee and Doug retired. I love that channel, but she was talking about her dad and that table that Doug redid. I was bawling, and she showed emotion, but I was just like, oh, I'd be bawling my eyes out. Hey, Dax, I haven't seen you in a while. My wife told me I have no sense of direction, so I pack my stuff and write. Uh, you're sentimental like me. Paula, I mean, Rhonda, do you wear your heart on your sleeve? Because I I don't like confrontation too. Like when people are trying, get an argument with me or anything like that, I'll just start. I can't help it. It just comes out, and I try to be like, you know, but yeah. So, um, wow, this reading though, and if I may read it again because sometimes I need things to be read over and over to me, or and I have to write it down to remember stuff. It was horrible in college because I redid my notes. I wrote them in class when it was lecture time. I also had a little cassette player going, so I taped it. Then I had to, hi Dax. Um, when I got home, I re-listened to those um, notes and I rewrote them. That's how I learned things in college because I can't keep my mind, on one thing. I'm a daydreamer. And that is my I have a little mantra thing that has um like you flip it and it says something. It says keep on daydreaming. Keep your daydreaming or something like that. And I'm like, "Oh, that's one for me." It's one of those things that you just have a saying for the day. I like those kind of things. But I'm going to read this again, if I may, from Matthew chapter 6, verse 34. It says, give your entire attention to what God is doing right now and don't get worked up about what may or may not happen tomorrow. God will help you deal with whatever hard things come up when the time comes. And I have a couple friends I have in the back of my mind that need to hear that. And perhaps I will give them a call today and ask them if they want to hear it. Or I can just text them and then I won't have to ask permission if I can tell them, right? But give your entire attention to what God is doing right now and don't get worked up about what may or may not happen tomorrow. Boy, I need to work on that. I need to be happy that I woke up. All right, bye bye, honey, and put my feet on the floor, and I was able to stand up. Because there's days where I can't even stand up because of my back, because of those discs in my back, and it's just like wow. I have today and stop worrying what's tomorrow because I'm always like, if I don't get everything done today, Daryl, I'm gonna not be able to do it tomorrow. So I got to get everything done today, and then I'm racked up for a couple days. I am racked up with for a couple days. I am I am my grandma baby girl. I love God, Angel. Hi, how are you? Marilyn, my beautiful Marilyn's here. Good morning, Marilyn. How are you? How are you? Everyone, welcome Marilyn. We have my husband changed his name to Big D's Place. So my hubs is in here for a little bit, but since I start later, he can't stay for everything. And when I'm reading, sometimes I miss some of your. Oh, is this Sunflower from Mrs. Paula's channel? Are you from Mrs. Paula's channel? Um, there he is. There he is, Marilyn. That's my hubs. Um, I miss all so much. Sunflower, are you from Mrs. Paula's channel? Uh, I'm good, and how are you? Oh, Marilyn, I'm much better since you're here, honey. I just love when you come to our channel. But but now she's my stepmother. Okay, okay, you are Sunflower. Okay, I'll have to tell Mrs. Paula. She's here, but Mrs. Paula's usually here, but sometimes people need to sleep in, and I do not mind. Um, no other crazy loon is up this early. No, I'm just crazy. But how can you do a sunrise if you're not up early? And I am a morning person, raring to go, and my chatterbox is ready, and I'm just ready to talk about whatever. But get me at 7, 8 o'clock. I'm going downhill. That's like when we do those game nights. Daryl's like ready to go and he's doing his trivia and then I'm just like, oh my gosh, I'm ready to fall asleep. But I just want to let you know that this will be my last day on here. Oh, I'm sad to hear that. Why is it your last day? Um, yeah, that's like I'm gonna, maybe I should start putting these little things on Post-its and put them around the house and then I can read them. Um, a lot of people, uh, do that. They put little reminders and stuff on their, mirror and stuff like that. I think Mel Robbins was doing something like that. I don't know if it was her High Five or which book it was, but she does that. I'm just a big fan of Mel Robbins. I read her books and then I read them again because she didn't have anything coming up, but now she has the Let Them book, and I got to read that again. So I can just listen to her for hours, just like I do Rhonda. Maybe that's why I like Rhonda, because she's a big fan of Mel Robbins as well, huh? That's probably why. She is the poise and the presentation. Um, um, wow. This is I'm just like, it says, I found that trying not to think about something is usually ineffective and counterproductive because you're still thinking about it. See, that's maybe I'll get a good night's sleep if I start practicing this. I've been trying and trying to do this, get some sleep, to put my mind at ease, peace of mind. And I have it on my wall, the definition of peace, and I read it every day. I've read all her books, and then I have them on Mel Robbins' books. Rhonda, I've read all her books, and I've listened to them 2 or 3 times because I just could never get enough of what she had to say. Okay, Sunflower. Mrs. Paula's usually on my channel in the morning, but she slept in, so she's still sleeping. So I'll see you later. Bye, Sunflower. Uh, but yeah, what do you guys think? Like, did that make any resonance to you? Like, does that like I don't know. I'm still thinking about this reading, and it's not often that I'm in awe, but lately I've been in awe a lot. You know, uh, check out Rhonda's channel. Um, my husband's channel is gonna have more stuff on it. Right now, it just has like the odometer clicking over and things like guys do. But he is a great artist, and I think he should do some artwork on there, like how to draw things. People would love that. Hey, comic. Um, Also, his building. Maybe if he does videos of him building, like adding onto the porch and showing tips and stuff like that, then my porch will get done because I've been waiting 3 years. I just love a closed-in porch so that I can go even in the fall and, part of the winter. But if it has insulation, I can use it like a four-season room, which would be really nice. Um, my porch at my other house was just beautiful that he did. My yard was beautiful. I had cardinals and blue jays, and when I would be out there doing my rosary, it was just like I was in the tropical forest, you know, in the jungle, I should say, the jungle. Hi. Hi, Jamie, or I should say Carol. Hi, Carol. Um, you're 64. You're going to be 64 this Sunday. I know. I remembered that. 64 years old. Wow, that's an accomplishment, right? I'm 60 and I think that's an accomplishment. And we need to live for today. Um, um, yeah, let's do this journey. Let's not rush. Like I talk about, like a lot of people on YouTube, they're like, "Oh, I gotta get monetization." Blah, blah, blah." Enjoy the journey. Get to know the people, and the best way to get to, your 1,000 subs and your hours. I guess I can't really give advice, but in my opinion, the best way to make a channel is to get to know your people, develop a community. It might take a little bit longer and get to know all of your people because I try to visit their channels and try to identify with them and try to be real. That's another thing. Be real. Yes, I'm a big crybaby, and I really apologize. I get embarrassed by that. And I'm an open book. I've told you, I never told anybody about my black hole, but I did on here, and that's a big step for me. And if I'm washing dishes, I don't clean up my kitchen to wash the dishes. That's what I was telling Evie or Evie yesterday. Hi, Evie. I enjoyed your live yesterday, love. That's another channel. Evie's retired. She has a really nice channel, and Entreaty by Rhonda Hensley. And then Big D's trying to get to 50. He has 7 subscribers, probably me and Tracy. But I'm gonna edit that for him and put it on his channel. Uh, so the only thing is he can't remember what email he used on it. Um, so we were trying to figure out what email he used on there, but I told him if he puts an email on his channel, it has to be an email just for YouTube. And that's what I did because it can't be connected to anything else because, people get hacked and things like that. It can't be your work email, your home email, and things like that. But welcome, Evie. I'm glad you're here. I'm really glad you're here. Um, BBC News. I'm not sure what that's about. You're on the BBC News because you're turning 64, Carol? Jamie is her son's channel, but she uses it. That's why I say Carol. You're welcome, Evie. I'm one of your biggest fans too, just like Rhonda's. I'm a nice lady. Well, thank you. I try to be. Uh, I try to be the nicest I can, and sometimes I'm a little bit too nice for people. I'm kind of, when like I was talking about the icing on the cake that Daryl and I made last night. It's too sweet. Sometimes people don't like that. My kindergarten teacher, what have I been labeled? The kindergarten teacher. Hey, I'm I welcome everybody. I give everybody a chance. I try to see the good in everybody, and there is good in everybody. When I've gotten trolls on here that have said some not so nice things, and I started talking to them, and you know what? They're subscribers now, and they're the nicest. I'm gonna say kiddos because I think they're like young adults, like 20ish. And I really admire them. And also, they apologized. Yes, this gentleman, he apologized for saying the not nice things to me, and he's a subscriber, and I welcome him if he's going to have that kind of attitude. But we've been lucky, a lot of them have been staying away. But if they want to be nice and try to change their ways, come on in, right? But like I said the other day, I demand respect when I'm talking. Um, or reading the Bible, like when we're talking to our God. And if it's not their God and they disrespect, then they can go bye byes. Because if they were talking, doing their religion, I would never be disrespectful, even if I didn't have the same beliefs as them. Never would I do that. So I just want that little bit of respect for God. I mean, I don't push my religion on anybody, and I'm here to tell the story of my life. A lot of the readings resonate with what is happening in my life, or since I'm 60, I have a lot of life experience that I can share with younger people. And maybe, just maybe, if they listen, they will learn something and not make mistakes like I did. And same thing with Rhonda. She, you have to check out her channel. Just give it a chance. Um, Watch it from the beginning to the end, the videos. A lot of people start watching a video and they're not too into the intro. And some of us old people, it takes us a little bit more time to get the ball rolling and get into the video. So a lot of people were probably bored at the intro for my when Sarge was back, taking my appointment and everything, and they click off and they miss the good parts, the funny parts toward the end. It was only was it a 5 or 6 minute video? but they're too click happy and they're missing out on a lot of information and history that us older people know about and we share with them, but sometimes they're just in a rush and they don't want to listen. So, but yeah, Evie, but see, guys, I'm a little biased because I consider Evie my friend, and even if she had a bomb, video, which you never did, Evie, don't think I said that, but even if she had a bomb video, I would still watch it from beginning to end because she's my friend, you know? And same thing with Rhonda, and I've never had one that I clicked off of Rhonda. I watch them from beginning to end because you know what? You're going to learn something. And a lot of my videos, I see that, oh, 2 minute attention span. And it's like, well, geez, which 2 minutes did you listen to? Because it takes sometimes, some of us, we're not used to technology and we don't know how to do all the fancy schmancy things that you do. And there's information in there, there's history, there's, you know, we're wise. We live through it. And, like Rhonda and Evie, we could we could get through life without a computer. Yeah, we rely on it now, but we know what life is without a computer, a cell phone, and all of that. We had to carry a dime or a quarter to use a payphone, and then you have to find a payphone to call home and tell your parents where you are. And that's what I was talking about, Evie, getting to know the person, the community. And I have a wonderful community. It's not just my subscribers, but it is all of our communities. Um, Evie's community, and there she is, the lady of the hour, Mrs. Paula. We're just talking about you. Good morning. Sunflower was looking for you. She's been MIA for a while, but she's back and she's on my channel. Uh-huh. Uh, that's a sarcastic smile. That's what Sally's sarcastic. That's my sarcastic smile. Anyway, but you got to get to know your community, and that's why I go on my subscribers' channels and I watch a couple of their videos, and that's why I don't get anything done in my house. But I really, and I don't want to seem ungrateful, but I don't like. I'm not like, oh, I got to get monetized. I got to get monetized. Oh, how many subscribers? I don't like to see how many subscribers I have. I just want to know that I have new people and that, somebody's interested in what I have to say. And I don't want someone to subscribe just to give me a number. I want to have subscribers that want to know who I am, that want to watch my story. I'm not here for a bunch of numbers, people. I started this channel because I was lonely, and I'm not here to ching ching, there's another subscriber, and I'm not about the analytics. Sure, once in a while when YouTube Studios send me those stupid reports, which I wish they would stop sending me, I get curious and then I go in there and a lot of times it's good stuff, but sometimes it's like, oh, what did I do wrong? That's why I don't want to see those numbers of how many subscribers I have because um it makes me sad when it goes up and down, up and down. And I go, what did I do? Did I offend somebody? And it might just be AI. I don't know, robots or whatever, or Pac-Man. I always say it's Pac-Man, wonka wonka. But I don't know. I just want to be me on here. I just want to tell my story. And if you want to listen, hey, come on in. But if not, then scroll on by. But I'm not trying to seem ungrateful. I hope that doesn't seem ungrateful, but I'm not about, oh, give me a number. Can you subscribe to me? That's why I was saying that Daryl's starting his channel. He changed the name of it to Big D's Place, and it's just in the making. It only has two little things on it he put long ago on there. But we made the cake yesterday, and I'm gonna try to help him. But if you guys want to subscribe and get to, you guys already know Daryl. You already know his sense of humor. So, we don't beg for subscribers, but he needs to at least get 50 to be able to, stream. So that's what he wants to do. Yesterday it was so hard because we were making the video for his channel and he didn't know, like usually I'm like, okay, I'll see you when I see you, right? And he's just standing there and I'm like trying to tell him, okay, close it up. Yeah. And he's like, "Oh, oh." So when I put that up, guys, I'll let you know when or if you subscribe to him, you could put the um you can put the notifications up whenever he puts that up. But yeah, so Daryl changed his channel to Big D's Place because that's what we call him. He's Big D, and my son Daryl is Little D, or I just call him D. Just like when he calls me Sally, it's usually hun or baby or something. So it's kind of like, who? You call me Sally? And my friend Danny, my best friend, he calls me Sal. So it's like he calls me Sally. I'm like, who are you? But other people call me Sally. It's like you get used to what other people address you as. So, but I never liked when my students would call me, Miss Sally or something like. No, it's Mrs. Davis or Mrs. D. Do not call me by my first name. And a lot of them, now that they're older, they can call me by my first name, but they still call me Mrs. Davis, Mrs. D. So, I guess he's sleeping in because there were a bunch of people asking where you were this morning. Um, but I said, "Hey, she can sleep in, you know, it's okay." I was telling them, I said, I have to be an early person to do this sunrise with Sally because sunrise is early in the morning. And I am a morning person, is, my personality is I'm up and ready to go. I'm not just sitting here waiting for someone to say something. And there's very rarely a quiet gap here. You always have someone, me, talking because I can just talk for hours. And Evie found that out yesterday when she called me on the phone yesterday. And Miss, Rhonda there, she got to talk to me too. And sometimes I talk too fast, and then they're trying to say something, and I got to hurry up and say it because I will forget what I'm going to say. But yeah, and Mrs. Paula too. She's had me. But poor Tracy, since I haven't seen her or anything, I've been life in the Wild West. She I've been texting her, I miss you. So, but I think at least she's getting her morning walks in and everything. She's trying to get her mom or her grandma settled in her new apartment, and her grandma's 90 years old, and I think she's close to being 91. So it's hard, but it has to be hard for her grandma too, because being in a new place after living in a certain home with all your things, and now she's got a new place, a new apartment, and all new things, new furniture and new everything. It has to be hard, you know. It's like sort of like my Gabriel, my 10-year-old dog. He's starting to go blind, and he wants to cling to me and lay on my feet and know where I am because he can't see where I am. And he'll start crying if he followed me and he can't find where I am until he hears my voice, and then he'll putter over and lay on my feet. And I'm being accommodating to that because he he's scared. He has to be scared, and that's one of all my senses. Being blind is something that I don't think I would like very much. I wouldn't want to lose any of my senses, but being in the darkness all the time can't be easy. Oh yeah, don't forget John 3:16. Is that the one I read last time for you? Peter Urbanowski has scheduled his first live. Does everyone know Peter? He's such a dear man. I thought he's never done a live by himself. Huh, that's true, huh? When is his live? Do you know what it's scheduled for? Because I have him on there, but when I get notification for people, Paula, it comes up on the screen. And if I'm not looking at my phone, then I don't know. I wish it would ding. Does everybody else's notifications ding? But then again, I have so many of you that I love so much, I would have a ding, 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 ding all day, every time. Look, see, look, those God's rays of light are shining through. Um, maybe he's blessing me on this day. Let me go look. Okay. Um, we got people out walking on this nice, beautiful day, and my hair is very vibrant in the sun. It's really red in the sun. Um, Hi, Joey. How's your visit? Are you still on vacation visiting your family? I hope you're having a wonderful time. It's a bit nippy out here. It's like 50 degrees, but it's supposed to go up to 80, 30 whole degrees. But I've been wanting to clean the upholstery in my car, but I have so many other things to do. This is a perfect day to do that. Get it done and then let the heat of the day um, dry it all out. I like to get the carpet cleaned and everything before winter comes so I can destroy it some more, with the salt and everything. But yeah, I'm going to read this from Matthew one more time for you guys. September 7th, okay. Um, Give your entire attention to what God is doing now and don't get worked up about what may or may not happen tomorrow. God will help you deal with whatever hard things come up when the time comes. And that's from Matthew chapter 6, verse 34. And in my book here, it's labeled The Message. And that's the first time I ever had that in a book. So I'm going to keep this book open and take this in and put it on a post-it. And I'm going to put it in a couple different places. But thanks, Paula. Thank you very much for that. Okay, Daryl, you're going to get to work, and I am going to get to work myself. I'm all dressed and ready for the day, and my hair looks really red in the sun. I love it. So it's the shows that I am a little spark of pistol, what do you want to call it, wildfire. But everyone, thank you for coming today. And don't forget to hit the like button. That is truly, truly a hug for me. I'm not about numbers for like buttons. It's just, seeing that you guys like what I'm saying. It makes me want to get up every morning and do it. So, Rhonda, you have a great day too. I can't wait to see you Friday on the live, and Paula as well. Um, I'm just so happy that I got to talk to you guys today. My heart is full. So now I can thank you, Paula. I feel those hugs. I feel them. I really do. And as I always say, I'll see you when I see you.